Today let's talk about the anatomy of antimony. Let's uncover the secret history of antimony. Let's unpack the mystery of the metal.
The anatomy of antimony, explosive rise of military metals, analysis and outlook. Let's just start from the beginning. Just 5 months ago, in August 2024, an entertainment company called X1 Entertainment changed its name to Military Metals. Military Metals is a great name, but a gigantic misnomer. I will tell you why, and I will tell you more about it later. The company then bought an abandoned mine in Nevada and a Soviet era mine in Eastern Europe. Let me make it clear, antimony is not exactly a military metal. Most of its applications are actually in the old fashioned car battery, not the EV. You and I own these gas guzzlers, those I'm talking about. And rest of the applications are in paint and plastic pipes. The amount they use in bullets, just think about your french fries and the salt you put on them. That much. However, the metal is very toxic. That's why most countries don't even touch it. And that's the reason China became the largest global leader and producer. Because you guessed it, it's China, not California. Then Tajikistan, I think, is the second largest producer of this mineral metal in, in the world. Just imagine an abandoned Soviet era heavy metal, toxic metal like antimony mine means is basically a toxic dump. On top of that, whether the communist Soviets left any metal, the company does not know. Nobody knows. Generally speaking, just to access and work on this site requires remediation and permits from health department, environmental agencies, and many other agencies. And don't forget, a lot of money to dig it out and secure the toxic soil from further damaging the groundwater, the lakes, rivers. The minute you buy mine like this and stock in companies like this, you become responsible and potentially liable to protect the groundwater and rivers and downstream rivers uh, and if there is a population, then that becomes a major problem. As you know, the world has changed from the Soviet era. Environmental regulations are very, very tight. Mining antimony in Europe these days is going to be very tough. It's a highly regulated market, and the red tape in Europe, those who know Europe, just think about it. California times three. By the way, there is no shortage of antimony, period. There is no factories. There's Weapons factories are closing because they don't have enough antimony. Nobody's laying off workers. So don't worry about it. Or if you read the headlines in the newspaper, don't pay attention to it because the amount of antimony used in the bullets is just a trace amount. Most of it, as I said, goes toward the batteries, fire retardants, plastic pipes, and paints. So, if even the communist Soviets left any, it would take years and years and a lot of money to start producing because it is a toxic metal. You run into a lot of problem. Weapon manufacturers are ramping up, running three shifts because they are selling weapons to kill people like hotcakes. May be true, but unfortunately, military metals does not have anything to sell. So that is totally meaningless for you as a stockholder, shareholder, or wanting to buy this stock. Immediately, you're not going to benefit from it. As I said, military metal is not a company that has any metals to sell, and antimony is not military metals. So it's so toxic. Companies that are using it in paint and pipes, they're worried about the potential liabilities. So they are actually substituting it as much as possible. And think about the abandoned Soviet Russian mine that used to produce heavy toxic metal like antimony as a toxic, poisonous pit. And that's why BLM advises caution when you visit abandoned mine, so called historic mine, you have to be very watchful. So I'm going to bring more reviews like this and share with you on the next Daily Stock Show. So if you like it and if you have any questions and comments, feel free to reach out to us. You can watch on YouTube and listen to wherever you listen to your favorite podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and everywhere. You'll find us on every podcast. Just look for the Daily Stock Show. On Twitter, Top 10 Stocks. Top 10 Stocks. You cannot make a mistake. For trading ideas, follow us on Twitter. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the next review or interview with the CEO. Thank you once again.
Our sponsors. Today's stock show is brought to you by Oracle. If you are thinking about building large language models from scratch or just want to test them, Oracle Hyperscale Data Center is right for you. This show is also sponsored by ThematicEquities.com. Breathtaking innovations are taking place in search of super alpha. Find all the latest exotic ETFs and thematic investing ideas. Visit ThematicEquities.com. Finally, for Canadian companies looking for European investors, we have an exclusive offer from wallstreetinvest.co.uk. See how other companies using wallstreetinvest.co.uk UK to reach British and German investors at scale. Your one-stop destination for British and German investors.